All right, let's bring in CBS MLB insider Jim Bowden. And Jim, let's start with the Yankees. They've been on quite a roll of late, coming off that sweep at Fenway Park. Got to give their bullpen some credit after Jameson Taillon went out early in this one. But what more can you say about Giancarlo Stanton? Last four batting over 500, 4 home runs, 13 knocked in. Jim, when you're watching him in the batter's box of late, what are you seeing?
Well, I'm seeing the same player we saw when he played for Miami and ended up winning the National League MVP award. This is the best I've seen Giancarlo Stanton swing the bat since he's been the Yankee. You saw that changeup down and in. He went downstairs and get it. And during the month of September, he's got 10 home runs, and it's been impressive because he's hit it on fastballs, breaking ball, changeups that you saw last night. His last 4 games, as you can see on the graphic, 13 RBIs for this baseball team. It has been huge. And you mentioned the bullpen. We got to talk about Luis Severino. Another good inning tonight in relief. That's going to be big for them as we head to the playoffs. And Clay Holmes continues to be one of the best setup relievers in the game. That 98-mile-an-hour two-seamer going in on right-hand hitters, along with a slider, really, really tough to hit. So this Yankee bullpen coming together here near the end. And tonight was a big game for them. Gives them a 2-game lead over the Red Sox, 3-game lead, more importantly, over both Toronto and Seattle for the second wild card. They've certainly put themselves in a really good position with 5 games to play.
Yeah, and you just touched on the Red Sox. That's 4 straight losses. Not exactly what you would expect with Chris Sale on the mound, losing a game at Camden Yards. The Red Sox still hanging on to that second wild card spot in the American League. What's your confidence level down the stretch that they'll hold that when the season's over?
Well, I mean, Jim, look, they control their destiny here, and what Alex Cora has to do is have a meeting with the team tonight and say, look, let's put this losing streak behind us. Our bats are good enough to take us there. Let's focus here over the next 5 games. They've got 2 against the Orioles in Baltimore, and then 3 against the Washington Nationals in Washington. Yep. Now, keep in mind, the next couple of nights, they're facing the left-hander Lowther for the Orioles. His ERA is 7.6. Then they're facing Wells. His ERA is 7.6. This Red Sox offense needs to get ahead early, give them the lead. Then they have the Nationals over the weekend. Their team ERA over the last 15 days has been over 5, while the Red Sox has been just under 4. These are teams they're supposed to win. But I think the other thing that happened tonight, Jim, that we have to pay attention to is that Chris Sale ran out of gas in that 6th inning. And Alex Cora really wanted to pitch him deep into the game. He said before the game he wanted to try to get 7 innings out of him. Wasn't able to. He gave up that home run to Mountcastle. But all of a sudden, the wheels kind of fell off. And why do I bring that up? If they're able to hold on to one of the wild card spots, all of us were assuming Chris Sale would pitch that wild card game. I'm not so sure after watching him tonight that they might not end up pivoting and having Nathan Eovaldi take the mound if they make the playoffs. But that's something to watch down the stretch. But also keep in mind that even though their schedule is easy, Seattle is playing hot right now.
Yep.
Toronto Blue Jays are capable as well of jumping back in this thing. So we still have until Sunday. I think the race is going to get fun before it's over. We may not know until Sunday who that second wild card team is, but I do think the Yankees have put themselves in a really good position despite their difficult schedule.
So, Jim, as we switch over to the National League, what more can you say about the St. Louis Cardinals? That's 17 straight wins, another win against the division winners, the Milwaukee Brewers. This is going to be a matchup against either the Giants or the Dodgers as the Cardinals clinch that second wild card. What's the level of confidence with St. Louis being able to beat either of those teams in a 1-game playoff?
Oh, they can beat either one of those teams, no doubt. You got Adam Wainwright on the mound. He's been lights out his last 10 starts. With that curveball, when it's on, you know, he's capable of shutting down either lineup. But when you watch these Cardinals during this 17-game winning streak, the one thing that really stands out, they've become one of the best defensive teams in the sport, and they take singles and doubles away from opposing hitters. You got the Gold Glovers on the corners and Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado. You got the Gold Glover in O'Neill. Harrison Bader's going to win the Gold Glove in center field. Yadier Molina has been a Platinum Glove catcher behind the plate in his career. Sosa's a plus defender. Dylan Carlson's a plus defender, and so's Tommy Edman. That's all 8 positions are all Gold Glove or plus defensive players, and that really does matter. You got Gallegos doing a good job closing games. Alex Reyes is pitching better now as the setup guy. So when you look at that one-game wild card, whether it's at Dodger Stadium or whether it's at Oracle Park in San Francisco, when you got Wainwright and those two relievers at the back end, you play the kind of defense they have with the power and speed, the Cardinals are a real threat to win that game.
Yeah, no question about it. Wainwright has seen it all, if you will. The New York Mets were a division leader for much of this season. They lost Jacob deGrom and things fell apart. deGrom officially shelved for the season on Tuesday, on the same day that Noah Syndergaard makes his season debut, pitching 1 inning. If you're the Mets franchise going into this offseason, what's the level of concern regarding the health of both those starters heading into next season?
Well, we don't have real access to the MRIs. We have the word of Sandy Alderson that deGrom's elbow is healed. With Syndergaard, you know, how are you going to judge him the last week of the season? So it's going to be difficult. I think the Mets really wanted to get Syndergaard back on the mound so they can make a decision if they want to offer him the qualifying offer now. But keep in mind, the Mets' biggest decision this offseason isn't going to be on Noah Syndergaard. It's not even going to be on free agent Javier Baez. Instead, it's going to be on who Steve Cohen hires to run the baseball operations department. Will he be able to convince Theo Epstein to get the job? Can he get Billy Beane from Oakland? Can he get Derek Falvey from the Minnesota Twins? And once that decision's in place, that person will make all of these decisions at that point. I don't think it'll be the existing executives that are in the Mets organization right now. And the one thing you can count on with the Mets, there has to be a lot of changes from top to bottom in the baseball operations in that organization this offseason.
Agreed, 100%. Billy Beane, of course, has a past working relationship with Sandy Alderson. He's CBS MLB insider Jim Bowden. Jim, we appreciate the insight.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.